Hello students. So this is your conductor to dielectric boundary conditions. So till now, like in the last class, we have seen dielectric to dielectric boundary condition and conductor to free space to conductor boundary condition. So it is the last boundary condition, that is conductor to dielectric boundary condition. So in the line conductor to boundary conditions, this is your dielectric medium and this is your conductor medium. It's like how we have proceeded for your dielectric to dielectric and free space to conductor. Here also we have to consider same procedure. So here we have considered one E1, that is its normal component, that is your E1n and E1t, and E1 is your vector. So E1 is a vector, that is your electric field intensity, and its normal component is your E1n, and the tangential component is your E1t. So here we have considered a closed line integral, that is from A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. So let us consider for the closed line integration of E dot dl is equal to 0. That is closed line integration of E dot dl is equal to 0, as we know that. So this closed line integration is a number of 4 individual integrations, line integrations. That is from A to B, E dot dl plus B to C, E dot dl plus C to D, C to D, E dot dl plus D to A, E dot dl. So which is equal to 0. So this closed line integration is this is a starting point. A to B, one integration, B to C, one more integration, C to D, and D to A. So it is a combination of 4 integrations. Let us find for A to B. This A to B, this line is in the dielectric medium. So in the dielectric medium, this A to B, E dot dl, this A to B is parallel to the surface. Among these two components of E1t, that is your E1n, E1t is parallel to this A to B. So A to B, E dot dl becomes E1t and its width is delta W and its height is delta H. So E1t into delta W. This is your first integration. Next, from B to C, the half portion of this B to C is in dielectric medium. So B to C, this is normal to the surface. So in this electric field intensity, the normal component is E1n and which is normal to the surface. But if you have considered the direction is from B to this point, the direction is downward, but the normal component is the upward. So minus E1 n delta H by 2. Next, from C to D, not from C to D, from this midpoint to C, this is in the conductor medium. So inside the conductor, the induced electric field is equal to, that is of caused electric field, which are in opposite direction. So net electric field within the conductor tends to 0. So from this point to this, it is 0. Next, from C to D is inside the conductor. Again, you are going to get one more 0 for C to D. Next, from D to this point, from D to this midpoint, so which is this line is inside the conductor. So that is also tends to 0. Next, from midpoint to A, that is the arrow is in the upward direction and the E1n is also in the upward direction. So you are going to get your plus E1 n into delta H by 2, which is equal to 0. So this plus E1n minus E1n becomes 0. So finally you are going to get E1t delta W is equal to 0. So this E1t delta W is equal to 0 only when E1t is equal to 0. So this is the one boundary condition we got. So E1t is equal to 0 if E1t equal to 0, then d1t, well, let us find for d1t. So d1t is equal to epsilon into e1t. This is from d is equal to epsilon into capital E. So here e1t is equal to, we got e1t is equal to 0. So absolutely the d1t also tends to 0. So the boundary conditions we got here, e1t is equal to 0 and d1t is equal to 0. So this is the first boundary condition. Let us go with your second, that is for the normal component. How we are going to get for your normal component? Let us consider for your normal component. So for the normal component, same diagram we have to consider. Instead of considering E1t or E tangential component, we have to consider your normal components. And also, instead of considering a line integral, we have to consider Gaussian surface. So let us consider, instead of considering your closed line integral, let us consider your Gaussian surface. So let us erase this. So let us consider a Gaussian surface. So this is your Gaussian surface. So this Gaussian surface is having the height of delta h, and this is your surface, that is your delta s, differential surface delta s. So for this we have to consider d dot ds is equal to, that is of closed integration of d dot ds, closed surface integration of d dot ds tends to q enclosed, q enclosed or delta q also you can consider, q enclosed or delta q. So this closed surface integration is a combination of three integrations, that is from top d dot ds plus bottom d dot ds plus sides d dot ds. So from the observation of this Gaussian surface, the bottom is inside the conductor. So inside the conductor there is no any electric field, that is of induced electric field is equal to your caused electric field, so which are in opposite direction, which makes the net electric field inside the conductor becomes 0. So in the bottom you are going to get your d dot ds is equal to 0. The sides are cancelled out to each other, so this will be also 0. So you remain with only the top. The top value becomes ds, that is dn. So this is the direction. So among this, so instead of considering your e1n, e2n, so here we have to consider d1. This is your d1 and this is your d1, d1t, and here we have to consider d1n. So instead of considering e1, e1n, e1t, we have to consider d1n, d1, d1t. D is nothing but your flux density, electric flux density. So this is the direction. This is the normal to the surface. So the same direction of your E1, D1n will be the same direction of your normal to the surface. So here we have to consider D1n into delta S. So finally here we can write the closed surface integration of d dot ds is equal to which is delta q. So which we got here is d1n into delta s, and this delta q can be written as from the charge density, surface charge density, rho s is equal to dq by ds. From this dq can be written as rho s into delta s. Just write here. So rho s into delta s, yes cancel. So d1 n is equal to rho s. If d1n is equal to rho s, then what about your e1n? So e1n is equal to, from d is equal to epsilon into capital E, d1n is equal to epsilon into e1n. So from this e1n becomes d1n by epsilon. So d1n by epsilon, where d1n is equal to rho s by epsilon. So e1n is equal to, these are all the vectors. So e1n is equal to rho s. So finally we got, for surface to dielectric to conductor boundary condition is, we got the first condition is e1t is equal to 0 and d1t is equal to 0, and second condition we got d1n is equal to rho s by epsilon and rho s, d1n is equal to rho s and e1n is equal to rho s by epsilon. So these are the two conditions which are related to conductor to dielectric boundary conditions. So here what is the epsilon? Here epsilon is nothing but e1n is equal to rho s by epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon r. So it means that we can write e1n is equal to rho s by epsilon naught into epsilon r, and dn is equal to, what is the dn? D is equal to epsilon into capital E. So here epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon r into capital E. So where epsilon naught is space permittivity and epsilon r is relative permittivity. So this is the difference. You will observe, free space to conductor, you are not going to find this epsilon r, but when you consider conductor to dielectric, you are going to consider your relative permittivity. So in the next class we are going to consider your Poisson's and your Laplace equations.